A good Saturday to you, Bahamas. I'm Kyle Joaquin.
And I'm Krishna Virgil.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Tribune's Top 5.
After weeks of controversy surrounding unpaid debt and whether or not she deserved it, the widow of the country's first prime minister was sworn in as the Governor General of the Bahamas. Dame Marguerite Pindling said on Wednesday that her appointment to the highest constitutional office in the country, Governor General, is not bad for a barefoot girl from Andros. Speaking during her inaugural address, Dame Marguerite pledged to serve all Bahamians to the best of her ability without political interference or regard for race or social class. The remarks came moments after her swearing-in ceremony at Government House on Mount Fitzwilliam Hill, where scores of dignitaries, family members, and supporters gathered to witness the event. Dame Marguerite, the second woman Governor General and the 9th Bahamian holder of the post, is the widow of the country's first Prime Minister, Sir Lyndon Pindling. She succeeds Sir Arthur Folkes, who held the post for the last 4 years. Sir Arthur officially demitted office Wednesday morning, 2 hours before Dame Marguerite was sworn in. During her address, the new Governor General said, quote, "There is no greater or higher duty than a Governor General can have than to bring our people ever closer together in love, in unity, and in common purpose. I am absolutely determined to fulfill that duty without unwavering consistency and in the fullest possible measure," end quote. Dame Marguerite also urged all Bahamians to stop fighting each other, but instead to come together with a view to building the country. Prime Minister Perry Christie said her appointment was well-deserved.
No stranger to the Tribune's Top 5 is the controversy surrounding Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygaard. In the face of mounting legal pressure and international attention, the government has been forced to extend its public consultation process on Peter Nygaard's proposed expansion plans at Sims Point, Nygaard Key for a further 21 days. In an embarrassing climb down, it has also had to admit to confusion and flaws in the process thus far. While letters obtained by the Tribune this week, signed by Director of Physical Planning Michael Major and sent to Save the Bays, the environmental group leading the opposition to the development, shows that the consultation period has officially been extended because of the department's failure to obtain certain information about Mr. Nygaard's plans and its failure to disclose certain documents. Concerned residents had requested the information and documents in order to make meaningful representations with respect to Mr. Nygaard's applications. Lawsuits were filed this week against the government by STB and wealthy Liferkey property owners, including Bahamar Chairman Sarkis Merlian and retired British actor Sean Connery, seeking a judicial review of the process. On June 18th, the government announced the start of the initial 21-day public consultation period that ended on Wednesday with respect to Mr. Nygaard's applications for Crown land and approvals for building, dredging, and other types of development in the surrounding seabed. Mr. Major noted in a letter dated July 6 that despite the start of the public consultation process, his department has not received applications from Mr. Nygaard with respect to certain, quote, future buildings in his site plans. He said that Mr. Nygaard's set of architectural plans displayed are incomplete and insufficient to secure a building permit. Earlier this week, American television personality Nancy Grace and former U.S. Treasury Secretary Nicholas Brady were among the 103 people who jointly sued the government while expressing concerns about environmental degradation and alleged unauthorized activities by Mr. Nygaard that they believe have already taken place in the area.
The entire week was filled with festivities, but the climax came on Wednesday at midnight as the country welcomed its 41st year of independence. The country turned 41 on Thursday and celebrated with the usual grand tattoo on Clifford Park. The event saw various forms of colorful expression from the young and old. Dancers, singers, and musicians took to the stage to pay homage to the 700 islands, rocks, and keys they call home. The Bahamas also scored a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records with the most people blowing conch shells at the same time. Now, this year's event was the first appearance for newly sworn-in Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling. She received a big cheer from onlookers as she carried out the usual inspecting of the guards. Just after that, it was a word of prayer from spiritual leaders and then the raising of the flag. Just after that, it was a word of prayer from spiritual leaders and then the raising of the flag. But the independence celebrations were stained with a bit of violence early Thursday morning as gunshots cut the annual Junkanoo rush hour short. Police were forced to shut down the 41st Independence Day People's Love and Unity Rush on that morning, following a shooting incident that left 3 males in hospital. According to police reports, the incident happened around 4:30 a.m. at George Street in downtown Nassau, where 3 men were each shot by a man armed with a handgun. The suspect later fled on foot. The Tribune understands that 39-year-old Roland Cunningham was shot once on the right side. Emil Sweeting, a 15-year-old of Palm Avenue, was shot once to the upper right thigh. And Cadero McDonald, 21, of Wiley Close, was shot twice to the left hand. With the suspect still at large at the time, Assistant Commissioner of Police Baffles said authorities moved to end the festivities as the welfare of thousands of attending Bahamians was thought to be compromised. A short time later, police said a 21-year-old from Pyfram Road was arrested and is being questioned regarding the matter. The incident has raised concerns among participants. Co-director of the Valley Boys choreographed dancers, Kish Lane O'Brien, said the experience had them extremely frightened. She said, "When the shots were fired, I saw mothers literally picking up their children and running away. Now, Junkanoo has always been a family event, but I saw mothers holding their children, like a bundle of flowers and running." There is no word yet as to if any more arrests have been made.
Our top story of the week comes from the U.S., where our very own Junkanoo has just been voted as USA Today's Best Caribbean Festival. The Bahamas has topped a list of the Caribbean countries with the most favored festival. In an online poll, readers of USA Today and 10 Best chose Junkanoo as the best Caribbean festival. Junkanoo came in first over festivals like Carnival in Trinidad and Cropover in Barbados. The writer of the article, travel expert Shell Walton, wrote, "No one really knows just where Junkanoo originated, but anyone who's had the pleasure of attending is glad it's around. This iconic Bahamas Street Parade takes place on Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and sometimes also in the summer, and involves intricate costumes, loud music, and troops of dancers shaking their hips through the streets." She added, "There's no doubt it was a favorite with our readers, who voted it to a comfortable first-place finish." While Soul Beach Music Festival in Aruba, Christmas festivities in Puerto Rico, St. Patrick's Day in Montserrat, Carnival in St. Thomas, Ironman Triathlon in St. Croix, and the Tobago Heritage Festival also made the list. Well, that does it for this edition of the Tribune's Top 5. Unfortunately, this will be my last time hosting. Krishna Virgil will take it from here.
And I'll be right here next week to host your top stories. So for more on these top stories, check out our website at tribune242.com or hit us up on Twitter at Tribune242.